with Ace Bailey, I think he's most likely to bust of the top 5 guys. That's my opinion.
What? First of all, bro, most likely to bust. Let's reword that, okay? Second of all, why? Can I get a reason why?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, I mean, I love Ace Bailey. I live in New York, so I got a chance to spend a lot of time at Rutgers, both practices and games. Also watched him quite a bit. USA basketball in high school. I've had an opportunity to get to know him also off the court.
Oh, see, now we have a guy who's watched him play on the USA select team, watched him play in high school, got to know him off the court. So somebody who actually watched him and knows his personality and isn't just looking at some minute advanced statistic.
Basketball in high school. I've had an opportunity to get to know him also off the court, and I firmly believe that Ace Bailey is going to be a star in the NBA. And I went to watch him work out a couple of days ago. A guy with that kind of size and length and explosiveness and shot-making prowess. He's 18 years old. Doesn't turn 19 until August. He's. I think people talk about the Rutgers stuff and all that. You know, sure, you can knock him for that, but he's a very competitive guy. He wants to win. He's about the right things. You know, I was just watching the interaction between him and Dylan Harper. You know, like those guys obviously, like Dylan Harper wouldn't mess with a guy like that if he was like a loser. You know, like and Dylan Ace Bailey. He's going to be big time, I think. And if I'm Philadelphia, I'm 100% drafting him third.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So one guy says Ace Bailey's going to be a bust. The other guy says, I'm 100% drafting Ace Bailey. I think he's going to be a star. One guy watched him play in high school, got to know him a little bit as a personality and his work ethic. I mean, I know one of these guys aligns with my opinion more than the other, but I'm going to agree with the guy that kind of gave a little bit of information on why he thinks what he thinks. I'm going to agree with that. Shizzo Flex, I'm not paying all that money it's going to cost to get into the new arena without young talent. KD is too old. You can't trust Embiid's health to bet on it. Yeah, if ownership's looking at it, that's a great point, dude. That is a great point. If ownership's looking at it, they're saying we're building a new arena in 2030 or 2031. It's going to be done. Joel Embiid's not going to be playing then. You know, Paul George isn't going to be playing then. Tyrese Maxey's going to be 29. 28, 29. He's going to be in the prime of his career. And so from a longevity standpoint as an ownership group, if you want the most excitement, again, you don't have to win to make money as a sports owner. You have to sell hope. The fan base has to be excited enough to to buy the tickets and buy the jerseys and come to the show. You know what I mean? So if you want the most excitement around your team with a brand new arena, you probably should start building around Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain right now, and so that when they're 29 and 26 respectively, you have a team that people are excited to watch and is potentially a contender. And so if you're looking at 2030 and it's 2025 right now, you draft Ace Bailey. That's exactly what you do. So yeah, great point made there, man. Thank you for that, and thank you for the support on the super chat. Speaking of Ace Bailey's personality, man, there's two things here. There's a question that he answered about his bad shot selection that I want to play because it can be taken one of two ways. And there's a question that he answered about his weaknesses. And here's how he answered the questions.
Where does that confidence come from?
Workouts. Workouts. I work the shots a lot. I mean, the shots I work on and the workouts are the shots I do in the game. So what might be a bad shot to you, you don't work on it. I work on it. So that's how I look at it.
How'd you develop that routine?
I mean, work out consistently. I mean, same thing. 2 people guarding me in the workout, 3 people guarding me in the workout, creating space to get my shot off.
How'd you become a great shooter, and how long has that been, maybe your biggest strength?
I mean, shooting, I became a good shooter. Coach Hud, shout out to Coach Hud. Working with him in high school, with my form and technique and all that. So he played a part in it, and then just put up a lot of reps with it.
Some people had a negative response to this because he sounds a little bit cocky, and there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. But I don't think this is cockiness, man. I think this is confidence. And also, like, people will talk about he doesn't pass the ball, right? He shoots over 2 or 3 guys. He doesn't pass the ball. These players go to college for 1 year. For 1 year. And what are they doing in that 1 year? Maybe they're not really concentrated so much on trying to get Rutgers to the national championship. He was a high school All-American. He played on the McDonald's All-American team. He played on the USA Select team. He's selling himself. He's selling himself as a product. He's trying to show everyone what his capabilities are so he can get drafted into the NBA. And yeah, maybe that equals some bad shots over double teams instead of passing the ball. But these over-analytical, he takes bad shots people would have hated Kobe Bryant. Just one example. Oh, don't draft me. Imagine if there's don't trade for Kobe Bryant. What was he drafted? 13th in the 97 draft and then was traded from the Charlotte Hornets to the Lakers or something like that. Don't trade for Kobe. He's only 18, but he takes bad shots and he doesn't pass the ball. Right? So a player like Ace Bailey, 5, 6, 7 years from now, if he becomes an NBA superstar and he becomes known as a guy that knocks down difficult shots, you can come right back to this interview where somebody asked him about it and he said, I put in the work. That might be a bad shot to you because you don't work on it. I work on it. I love that answer.
Workouts. I work the shots a lot. I mean, the shots I work on in the workouts are the shots I do in the game. So what might be a bad shot to you, you don't work on it. I work on it. So that's how I look at it.
I don't know. Some people are saying that's cockiness. I love the confidence, me personally. Here's one on ESPN where they asked him what his weaknesses are and what his strengths are, and here's what he said.
If you were giving your scouting report, what's your top 2 strengths, and what would be one weakness that you would write down on your own scouting report of yourself?
I ain't got no weaknesses. I got more than 2 strengths, big dog.
I ain't got no weaknesses, and I got more than 2 strengths, big dog. Now, you can be overly confident and you can hit a wall in the NBA, and it could go either way. I think Chet Holmgren kind of had this same overconfident personality when he was drafted, and Chet Holmgren's a great player and he's developing into a great player. And just because a player answers questions like this doesn't mean he's going to be like resistant to coaching or something like that. That's just something you'll find out with time. I'm sold just off the shit talk. He's welcome to Philly anytime. Exactly, bro. You know what I mean? You see him catch an alley-oop at Rutgers, dunk on somebody, and scream at him as they're laying on the floor. I love that. I need that. I need that aggression. I need that dog mentality. I need that player that wants to win that battle. I need that player that looks at it and says, I'm putting the ball in the hoop, and the only way you're going to stop me from doing it is if you get up there with me and block the shot. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen so many players back down from the fight on this team for years. I'm drafting that kid off of dog mentality alone, probably. You know what I'm saying? Let's take one more call before I get up out of here, man. Dan. We got Dan in West Philly. What's going on, Dan?
What's good, man?
What's up?
Giving a call in, man. Our fans are just like, our fans got lighten up on our players, man. Because it's like, I get where they're coming from, but I don't think most of our fans that call in on your show, I don't think they weren't even walking around. They're probably in Pampers during a real Sixers process era where our team would just complete shit for 10 years.
It's probably true.
So, most of you young guys, I get it that you guys want to, pick up a rookie and you're expecting to change. It doesn't happen that fast. It never happened. I've only seen one rookie in my lifetime, which I'm pretty sure is probably yours is the same, that made a real difference their first year, which is LeBron James.
Yep.
There is no other prospects that's going to really make a difference on the team that first year. You look at Wemby, you look at the draft in the last 10, 15 years. None of them are going to make a real change until those first few years, man.
Absolute facts. Absolute facts. So you're saying people shouldn't be so skeptical of an 18-year-old prospect?
Heck no.
Yeah.
Especially like when it's coming down to it, people are arguing, "Oh, VJ Edgecombe over this or Ace." Like, listen, we're going to go with the best option that we can get. First and foremost, the NBA just gave us. They just literally just helped us out.
Yeah.
Because without this draft pick, the next few years we would not have any picks.
Facts. You think they did that?
And the fact that
this is like the third year in a row that the three worst teams didn't end up with the first pick or something like that. You think the NBA's kind of, if they were going to rig it and they want to stop teams from tanking, and they're like, well, let's just consistently, the teams that shamelessly tank, let's make sure they don't get the number one pick in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to stop it from tanking. I get it that teams are mad because their teams are ultimately tanking, but I mean, hey, it's big business. I'm sorry, Philly. Unfortunately, we were one of the teams that helped start off the NBA. Like,
hey, we shamelessly tanked and they gave us number 3. Yeah, we got to be happy about it.
Yeah, but we made it look good. You get what I'm saying? We made it look good. Quentin Grimes came out here and he balled out for us, and he made it look good, like we weren't tanking as much as every other team.
That's true. That is true. We did make it look good. You're right. We would slyly like pull him out in the fourth quarter. You know, he'd have 35 points. We sit him in the fourth.